Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily, aka FroggieHobbies. It's been a while since we've seen each other. I've been incredibly busy over the last few months, but it's finally slowed down just a little bit, and I had time and motivation, more importantly, to finally edit this video that I filmed back in November and December. I'm going to be making the Crochet Edna hooded scarf by Wavelength Crochet, and also there's going to be a brief intermission where we organize my closet and go down a very kind of embarrassing trip down memory lane, going through a lot of my old Lolita fashion dresses and accessories. I'm going to skip a long intro and we're just going to get right into it. Let's go. Hello. Today we're starting a new project, and it's going to be a Christmas gift, actually, kind of a birthday Christmas gift. And it's going to be the Edna hooded scarf, which is just like any hooded scarf, but a crocheted version. I'm really excited to get started on it. I have actually made half of a version for myself because I wanted to practice the pattern, but it's going really well. So I'm just going to jump right into my friend's chosen yarn. Let's do a quick chat about the yarn. I've never worked with this yarn before, and I'm a little nervous. She chose the Karen Groovy Cloud Cakes in this colorway. It is called Icy Lime. Here's what it looks like worked up. To be honest, this isn't my favorite color, but the scarf isn't for me. So it's fun to work with something I would never have picked up on my own. And that's both probably because of the texture of this yarn. It's very soft, but it's also kind of fuzzy, which is not my favorite to work with. And I just don't like the neon green. I'm going to be honest. It's the neon green. I'm not a fan, but again, it's not for me. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just excited to work on something new, and it's something that I would never have chosen myself. I would have never made a hooded scarf. I would have never bought this yarn, and I would have never worked with these colors. So thank you to my friend for making me get out of my comfort zone a little bit. I have already purchased the pattern and printed it out. I'll link the pattern down below. It's actually really cute. I love the way this pattern was made. Not only was it pretty much printer friendly, the only page I had issue with was the first page, the title page. I actually didn't print that because it had a very green background and I just didn't want to use that much printer ink. But the other pages are all really well done. No extraneous or like super extra backgrounds. Lovely photos. I'm not going to show the pattern too much because I did have to buy it. It was about $6.50. So not too pricey, but I normally don't buy patterns at all. I prefer to either find a free one, struggle through ads, or give up halfway through because I can't figure it out myself. But since this is specifically a gift for somebody, I bought the pattern. Yeah, but that being said, I'm not going to show too much of it because it is somebody else's property, intellectual property, and if you want it, you should go buy it. The first part, though, is that we have to chain a lot. We have to chain 200. So let's get started on that. And as I go, I'm going to be counting my stitches with my stitch markers. I just bought this set, and I gotta say it's a lifesaver. But let's get started. It's probably worth it to mention I actually bought 2 balls of yarn, and I have to crochet them together at the same time to get the intended gauge, which is fine because I'm hoping it makes the self-striping a little bit more confetti-like and a little bit less harsh lines, because I don't think the harsh lines are going to look good on this pattern. I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to look really weird, and especially as the item shrinks, it's just going to be like a stripe being this big to a stripe being this big, and I don't think it's going to look good. So hoping so much that this doubling it up really helps with that. Okay, it is the end of day 2 of working on this project. I made it to row 8, halfway through row 8, and there's still about 150 more rows to go, but at least we've made some progress. I made it through an impressive amount of yarn, much more than I expected, but we are on row 14, and we're going to go take a break because I need to do something else. I feel like I've sat here for way too long, but this is what it's looking like so far. It's pretty cute. As you can imagine, these rows with 200 stitches are taking forever to complete, which is why I keep trying it on to give myself that little boost of dopamine to tell myself I'm doing a good job, but now we need to take a break. Welcome to my craft closet. In one of my previous vlogs, I reorganized this a bit, but we're going to do it again because a lot of this is our costumes that we only wear maybe once or twice a year, and even then, sometimes less for specific costumes. And I just feel like we could be using this space a lot more efficiently if they were packed away. So I bought some vacuum packer bags. I've never used these before, but I am pretty excited to give it a try. I don't know if my vacuum is actually the right kind for these, but I'm going to try it out anyway. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work and we have to try something else. But I'm just excited to get some of this stuff packed up. So let's get started. Okay, these are huge. When it said jumbo, I didn't really know what that meant. This is huge. The idea is that all of these clothes will pack into some bags and then pack into a box and then go up top. And I'm going to completely reorganize the top section too. But if these are just like too enormo, then they're too enormous, This is huge. It's like half of my body length. Oh my God. Okay. These are all my old like Lolita fashion items. I used to wear this a lot more like in high school and early college, and now it's been probably 4 or 5 years since I've actually worn it. I know a lot of it doesn't fit anymore because they barely fit before I gained some weight, and I just don't have the wherewithal to try them all on and see who fits and who doesn't and then start selling things. So I am just going to pack them up. I'm also not quite ready to say goodbye to this like era. So we're going to pack everything up and then vacuum pack maybe just one bag of Lolita items. I thought it was going to be more, but maybe it'll just be one. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's Metamorphose candy bottle. I love it so much. Maybe I can find some old pictures of me wearing these and post them, but I love this JSK, and honestly it's full shirring, so this one probably will definitely still fit, but I just haven't worn it in a long time, and I'm not going to any cons or events where I might need it anytime soon. I decided I'm going to go through all of them for posterity, prosperity, whatever, for remembering. This is one of these are all my favorite, honestly, but I love this one. I used to wear this one all the time. And the thing I love the most about this is that the apron bit is detachable, completely detachable. This is one that used to barely fit, and so there's no way in hell she's going to fit now, but I absolutely love her. My favorite bit is the buttons. Look at the detail. Like, they're just so gorgeous. I love the little gingerbreads, and just so many details of this dress are like absolutely stunning. Next this is an off-brand dress in the world of Lolita. This one I also don't think would fit anymore. This is from, I believe, Chess Story. Let's see. Yes, Chess Story. It's just, oh, hi Felix. So stinking cute though. Like the birds, I love the birds. It's bows, ribbons. I loved the color. It's somewhere between a mint and a sax blue. I just love it. I love deer, so like I've got a thing for deer. Pack her up too. This one I've never actually worn. I bought it. It's also a non-name brand. I don't think it has a tag in it at all. Nope. I bought this off Lace Market, and I just really like the strawberries. I bought macaroon earrings to match it, but I just always had trouble styling this dark color with the red. I mean, now I'm like, that's so easy to do, but back in my pastel days, I could not figure this out. This is one of my most, I would say this is my most worn dress. Also an off-brand, but this one is so well made, it's crazy. It's a mushroom dress, and I just love it. I was a mushroom witch for Halloween a few years ago, and this just was the perfect dress to wear. Last but most certainly not least, because this was my first Lolita dress I ever bought. It's a long sleeve OP, a long sleeve one piece, and it's so freaking beautiful. This is also Metamorphose. It has full back shirring, which is really nice, but I also don't think this one would fit me anymore. This one's a maybe. It might fit. I love the little sailor collar. It's so, so, so cute. Came with bows and accessories when I bought it off someone online. And my favorite part
is that it also has mushrooms, and it's mushrooms and chipmunks. I just think this is the cutest dress I've ever seen in my life. And it's one of those ones that really grew with me as my style in Lolita grew and changed. And I just absolutely love it. That's actually all of the Lolita dresses I have. I'm going to pack all of those up and then vacuum pack them. And I'm sweating so badly right now.
Hello, it's actually the next day, but I had quite an eventful night. So, one of my cats has this thing where she does not properly express her like anal fluid. I don't know what it's called when she goes poop. And so sometimes it just like randomly expresses. And it's happened to me while I was sleeping, almost got me in the face. And last night, it just so happened to happen while I was working on my crochet hooded scarf, and I was terrified that my scarf was going to be essentially ruined because who wants a shat on present? Like nobody. But thankfully she missed it. And then I had to go wash myself because I got cat poop on my arms. And before I could even get into the shower, our other cat vomited all over the floor, and it was full of little green Christmas tree bits. Of course it was, for our fake tree. What a lovely little man. We set it up yesterday, and it not even 24 hours, and he was full of little plastic pieces. So annoying. If anyone has ways to keep their cat from eating their Christmas tree, please let me know. Then this morning I woke up feeling sick, and I've just been struggling. Like it's been rough. But because of that, yesterday I did do a bit more crocheting, but it was mostly off camera because I was no longer feeling like being presentable after being shit on, having to clean up vomit. And then, and we gave both of our cats a bath where one of them tried to climb my partner like a scratching post to get away from the water, ended up with huge scratches all over her legs. They just hated it, and it took a while because they're so traumatic. After that, I was like, no, I'm not doing anything. And by then I had already started feeling a bit sick. And then this morning it's been much worse. So I actually haven't picked up my crochet project at all, but I want to show you where we got to at the end of yesterday, which I believe was day 3. So today is starting day 4 on the project, or maybe day 5, or maybe day 2. I don't really remember, but we're going to go grab it, and I'm just going to keep working on it because the hood part goes a lot faster than the scarf part. So I do have a lot of motivation to work on it. I just haven't done it because I wanted to film it, and I didn't want to film before doing an intro, and then I didn't want to do an intro because I didn't feel good, and then here we are. We're going to go crochet. Hello, I wanted to do the quickest little update on my hooded scarf. I have finished the middle section now, officially. So now I get to start on the top section. It's a smaller little square, and then we get to sew and do the ribbing. I think I'm about a little more than halfway done with the project, but considering the ribbing is going to take a minute, and I still have to finish the little noggin portion, I think I still have quite a bit of work to do. But I would say probably about 60% done. So that is very, very exciting. And the colors, as they're working up, I'm growing to like them more and more. I know that's something that often happens to me, at least when I'm working on crochet projects, is that I'll be like, oh, I hate this color, or I'll start it. I'll see the ball and be like, I love this. I'll start working with it and be like, I think I hate it. And then halfway through, I'm like, I actually love it. So I'm starting to really like the colorway as well. It's so pretty. And the way it's working up is just lovely, and it's so soft. So I am going to continue crocheting during my off time after work today, and then we'll see how far we can get.
That was the last row of the shorter section. So now we get to stitch this up here and here to make the hood.
Yeah, actually not bad. The only thing I don't love is these points, but when I attach it, I'm going to push them in just a little. Yeah, we're gonna do thick ribbing since this is kind of thin. I want it to be at least 2 inches thick.
So the pattern called for a very specific type of ribbing, but I wanted to test it out just to make sure that I liked it and that it looked good with the 2 strands crocheted together. So that was the little test you just saw, and I did end up liking it. So after I undid my little practice bit, I decided to just start crocheting it and attach it to the hooded scarf. The only problem is that this ended up being really finicky for me, and I had to undo it and start over multiple times. And as you saw, I wanted to make the ribbing on this very thick. I was thinking probably about 2 inches thick because the hooded scarf did not cover quite as much of my face as I wanted it to. I wanted to feel a little bit more cozy in there, so I decided to do it really thick. The only problem is that it looked ridiculous. Like, this is just too thick, and the pattern called for way less than this, and so I ended up undoing this 2-inch ribbing because honestly it just looked bad and followed the pattern. So maybe don't doubt the pattern maker sometimes they know better than you know, but I'm not mad I tried it. I was a little mad I had to undo everything and rip it all out and start over again, but that's just kind of the way it goes. We fucked around and we found out. Once I got used to crocheting this ribbing, it started to fly by, and I was really glad that I decided to follow the pattern and undo what I had before, because once I tried it on and I had gotten about halfway through, I realized that that was the right call. And a little pro tip from editing Emily, the pattern actually tells you that you should block the hood before you stitch everything together. I did not do that, and I honestly regret it. I think that would have stretched the fibers out a bit more and made it give me that like face framing feature that I really wanted to make it feel a bit more cozy, instead of me just trying to like make up for that with really thick ribbing.
I just finished the ribbing, so I can officially cut a long tail for sewing it in. Now I just have to weave in all the ends and wrap it up, and it's done. So very excited. It's finally done. Well, almost. Finally almost done. What do you think? Cute.
Okay, I'm gonna wash this as well, the hooded scarf I made for my friend. So I have finished the hooded scarf. It has been wrapped up, gifted, and sent to my friend. She actually loved it. This is what she looks like wearing it, obviously blurring her face, but she looks so freaking cute, and I absolutely love that she loved it as much as she did. But this is how much yarn I have left from the Karen Groovy Clouds cake. I am going to wind the balls and see exactly what damage we have, how much yarn is still left in these balls. I think I used about half of them, but honestly, for me, it's impossible to tell because there's just like a giant amount missing in the center here.
If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I want to end the video by doing a quick pattern review and project recap. So for the pattern review, I have only good things to say about this pattern. It went incredibly well, and I believe that's because it is very well written. It has plenty of diagrams and pictures. It also has pictures from other crocheters making the Edna scarf, and those are included in the pattern, which I personally love because it showcased not just other creators, but also what this pattern looks like with different types of yarn, if you do striping, if you do no stripes, all sorts of things. And you have it all right in front of you versus having to go and search those photos out. So I think it really helped with inspiration while making the pattern. It's also very printer friendly, which for me is a huge plus because some patterns, if you know, you know, some patterns are not made to be printer friendly. And that really bums me out because I love collecting my printed out patterns. So that for me is a big, big, big boost. It was very easy to follow. Like I said, every instruction is well explained. The creator, Wavelength Crochet, actually has videos on how to do the stitches in the pattern. Another thing that I really liked about it was that the pattern came in 2 different lengths, a short version and a longer version. So most of this video focused on the gift I was giving my friend, which was the blue scarf. And for that one, I made the short version of the pattern. I think it turned out really cute. My friend specifically wanted that really small, like almost babushka style of scarf. So that's what I made for her. But I was making a version for myself as practice, and that was the pastel version that I showed way at the beginning of the video, just as little clips. The long version is, in fact, much longer. It goes down to my hips. You've got a lot more length to work with if you want to tie a bow or even just wrap it around a little extra to get a little more warmth. I think the long version is my preferred, but again, the blue one wasn't for me, it was for my friend, so I did whatever she wanted. The only drawback of this pattern that I can see is that if you bought this pattern because you wanted to make the petite knit scarf, but you don't know how to knit, and you only crochet, then there is one thing that I think you should look out for. In the petite knit scarf, it really tapers down into a point. And in this version, instead of it tapering in the same way, like decreasing on both sides, we're only decreasing on one side. So you end up with one side that is flat, like this over here, and one side that has all of the decreasing, which when you're wearing the scarf, can't tell at all, honestly. It looks very similar to the petite knit scarf, but if that tapered look was something you really, really wanted and you really like how that one goes, this does not have that exact same effect. So that was my pattern review. Only pretty much good things to say. Now for my project recap. That would be how I worked on the blue scarf. I think it went really, really well. The reason why it took so long, as you can see in the video, it's like day 1 was in November and day 9 of finishing the scarf was December 31st. That's because I was actually working on a bunch of projects at the same time. I was trying to get things done for Christmas, and I was going to put this all into one massive video because obviously it's February now and I wanted to get it all posted. But by the time I was doing that, the video was already over an hour long, and I was like, I need to split this up for my own sanity. Not even because I don't think people would watch an hour-long crochet video. I think they would. It was more for my own ability to edit that much. I just couldn't do it. So instead, we're sticking with this pattern being on its own, and then we'll have a little bit more chaotic video coming up next where I'm finishing a lot of my Christmas projects. So another thing was that I finished the blue scarf and was able to give that away to my friend for Christmas. I finished it on time. I was very excited about that. We did our Christmas gift exchange actually in January, so I had more than enough time. The only thing that I didn't love, I actually ended up gaining 2 balls of yarn that are going into my stash. I have no idea what to do with these. As I said in the beginning, I don't really vibe with this color very much. I don't really like the neon green. I'm not very much of a neon person, but they are pretty and worked up. It did look really nice. So if you have any suggestions on what I could do with this, let me know. Leave them in the comments, please. The other thing I gained is another whip. As you can tell, this version that I'm wearing right now, it does not have a hood yet because I haven't finished the hood. I really need to get back to working on this, and after finishing the blue one, I'm probably going to have to do some unraveling on this scarf because I want my hooded scarf to be a little bit taller to cover my big head. And having an extra whip on my shelf is bad for me because I am moving in April, and it is my goal to finish all of my whips before I move because, in my opinion, it's going to be a lot easier to move one blanket than 10 balls of chunky yarn. So I'm going to try to get all of my whips done and start working through my yarn stash, because as you saw in the video I posted in probably November or December, my decluttering my yarn video, I have a lot of yarn and I need to start doing something with it because it's just sitting here collecting dust. And at this point, it's more of a collection than something useful. And I don't want to move this whole collection to my new apartment. Of course, I won't be able to make it through all of the yarn, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I have until the end of April. So wish me luck and come along with me on that journey. The next video I'm actually posting is going to be another episode of Finish Your Frog. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm going to sign off so that I can start working on this whip. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.